At Victoria, I put in a few very pleasant months. I joined the colony of Chinese and opium smugglers who ran their freight across the line in fast, small boats at night into Port Townsend, Anacortes, or Seattle, Washington. The manufacture of smoking opium was then a legalized industry in Canada, and the smugglers were welcomed and harbored because they brought much American gold to the Canadian side. Being in the company of these characters, I was accepted by police as one of them, and went my way unmolested. One fatal evening, as I stood watching a faro game, making mental bets and winning every one, a devilish hunch came to me that I was lucky, and I ought to make a play. I made a bet, lost it, got stuck, and feverishly played in my last dollar. This gambling habit is the curse of a thief's life. He loses his last dime and is forced to go out in haste for money. Like a mechanic out of a job, he takes the first one in sight. He has no time to pick and choose, or calculate carefully what he's about. He must eat, and the minute he goes broke, he gets hungry. I had strolled through the residence district and noted several homes that looked prosperous and easy of approach. House burglary was almost unknown there then. There was almost no police protection. None was needed. Householders left windows open and doors unlocked. One o'clock found me in one of the most pretentious places on my list. But instead of picking up trifles right and left as I had expected, I found but one room occupied. I took nothing but money, and not much of that. Less than $50 in silver and bills, leaving his watch and some small articles of jewelry is not worth the chances I must take in trying to dispose of them in a strange town. I went straight downtown to the only all-night bar and lunch counter to eat before going to bed. Before I had my meal finished, 2 officers and 2 civilians came in, and they all came over to where I sat eating. One of the civilians looked at me closely and said to the other, "Looks very much like the man." I was in a bad hole. If I objected to search, it would look bad, and they would do it anyway. "Go ahead and search me," I said, making the best of a bad position. "Lock him up," ordered the man. "He has the exact amount of money I lost. The paper corresponds, and so does the silver. You're arrested in the name of the Crown, and anything you say will be used against you." I was taken to the city prison, where I gave the booking officer a very brief and misleading biographical sketch. The jail I had fled from with the China boy loomed before me. I put in the balance of the night going over my case. It looked hopeless. At 10 o'clock I was taken into the magistrate's court. The attachés and loungers crowded the house and stared at me curiously. A photographer waiting at the jail took a number of pictures of me, and I was locked up again. The jailer, a sad-eyed, solemn-faced Scotchman, gazed at me a long time through the barred door and smacked his lips. He said, "You escaped from the provincial jail at Revelstoke." I already knew I was lost, but this conveyed to me the full force and effect of my predicament. It made me feel like one buried alive. In due time, the judge arrived in town. My irons were struck off, and I went into court. I got a brief, dignified, orderly trial. Having no lawyer, the judge asked me if I wanted to go over the points in the case, and said I could not presume to instruct his lordship on points of law. He gave his verdict then, guilty, both charges. 2 years in the provincial penitentiary for burglary, 6 months for jailbreaking, sentences concurrent, and 30 lashes. The train carried me to the prison in New Westminster. My Scotch jailer loaded me with irons and handcuffed me to his seat to make sure he delivered me safely. At the town of New Westminster, I looked about me with interest. It was my birthplace. My parents were married in the United States, but spent the first year of their married life in British Columbia, where my father had some small business interests. He was a British subject and never took the trouble to become an American. That left me a subject of Great Britain, which I still am.